We have a very special guest in studio today. He is a loan officer with Veterans United, the great and powerful Adam Crutchfield.
Welcome
to the
sir.
show.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. Would just like to shout out my kids real quick.
Yeah.
Stud lineman Max Crutchfield with Chaminade. My daughter Darcy Crutchfield, just a beautiful dancer, and the lovely Delaney Crutchfield, my cuddle buddy and my number one. Love you guys.
How old are they?
14, 12, and 9. Jeez, had to think about that way too long there. Time just kind of melds together now.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of talking before the show. So you're not originally from St. Louis. You moved here in 2020, right?
Yeah.
And where were you at before?
I was in Columbia, Missouri.
Like, is that kind of where you grew up your whole life?
Yeah, I was born in St. Louis, moved to Columbia, grew up there, went to high school, Hickman High School, Cube Dogs.
Yeah.
Naked babies. And then I had an opportunity to move to St. Louis to help start a location of Veterans United
Sweet.
up here. So that's
ultimately brought you here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, so you kind of came here at a weird time, right before COVID, right?
Yeah, man. It was a super weird time. A lot going on in my life at that time. Also ended up getting divorced at that time. So just sat at home for about a year. Didn't really know anyone in St. Louis. Was super excited to get up here. I was like, dude, we're going to go to Cardinals games, Blues games, and do all this stuff. And then I just sat at home. But, the good that came out of that was I ended up at Revive Jiu-Jitsu. So I showed up there. Like I said, it was a really tough time. And being a man, I was like, you know what, dude? You're just being weak. Like, you just need to get beat up. You'll be good to go.
Okay,
like, don't actually deal with these feelings. Just go get beat up. I was like, I don't know anyone there. They're alpha males. Like, I'm never going to see these guys. I'll show up for a little bit, get beat up, and then I'll be good to go. And, dude, it was just really a huge blessing. Like, the exact opposite of what I thought. I met so many different people there, just amazing people. Two of my best friends I met there, Junior and Dan, several other guys there. Like Nick's been a huge part of my life as well. It's just great, man. Like, it's weird, and we talk about this sometimes. I'm 43, almost 44, and I just don't feel like you meet many of your best friends
that late
when you're
in life.
middle-aged. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my high school buddies, like, we're still super tight. Like, I got some tight friends from college. Like, one of my good buddies from high school lives up here. We golf all the time. Like, great dudes. But just weird to be like a middle-aged man and all of a sudden you have like new best friends.
New
Like,
friends.
it just doesn't happen. Like, I struggled a lot when I moved up to St. Louis because everyone has their own crew that they run with. And it wasn't like anyone was like,
No, you
don't
can't
hang
come
out.
with you can't sit with us.
Yeah. Seats taken.
Yeah.
What high school did you go to? Oh, you're not from there.
Yeah.
Go away.
Go away.
Yeah. Now I just tell everyone where my son goes to high school.
Yeah, there you go.
Hold on, Hickman.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's like you don't expect to make new best friends when you're 40.
Oh.
Like, and
Even like in your like late 20s, early 30s, I feel like it's kind of weird.
It's
to,
tough.
like,
It is.
It's like a weird time to, everybody kind of like you said, has their set group of friends that they've, like you said, I've got my high school, I've got grade school buddies that I've been friends with since we were like 5, and we still where we've been in this fantasy football league together for like 15 years now, and like I feel like that's one thing that kind of keeps us together, just because the group chat is going year round all day every day, just a bunch of shit talking and memes and but there's something about the jiu-jitsu friends that the friendships I've made there that are really special. There's something about it.
yeah, man, they're special, and they came to me, or I came to them, or we came together. Like, at the time I needed it most, man. Like, I was pretty down, right? Like, I'm 40, getting divorced. I'm in a new city. Like, the world's shutting down, and I'm just like, what is going on, dude? I have all these emotions and feelings in my head. And I know I joke around that I was like, I just need to go get beat up, which that happened very, very quickly upon arrival. So that box was checked early.
Yeah.
So is that when you started jujitsu, like right out the gate, or had you done jujitsu before?
No, that was when I started
Okay.
jujitsu. So I thought about doing it before in Colombia, but honestly, and I know people say this excuse all the time, but like I didn't have time. Like I had young kids, I was married. We had a lot going on, and that was the other thing with being divorced is all of a sudden I have all this extra time.
Yeah.
Which is nice to some degree, but also like I didn't know what to do with this time. And I need to put my energy in places that are going to be positive. And I didn't want to waste the time that I had, even if it was unwanted time to some degree. I was like, all right, well, we have it. So like, let's put this to use. And I didn't want to get punched in the face. So MMA was out the door, although I've taken plenty of knees and elbows to the face,
of course,
since then. And I ended up at Revive. I had a buddy down in Columbia. He said, I know this guy. This guy's Junior and Nick. I like go there. Showed up there. At the time, I was probably like 310 pounds.
Oh, wow.
And I think they were like, okay. This guy paid his money, so we'll strap a white belt on him. And
yeah, it was a new gym at the time too.
Yeah, it was super new. So I'm like one of the only white belts there, and everyone's just got their blue belt. So they're just like licking their chops. This big guy's in here. We know jujitsu. We're blue belts. We're ready to just smash this dude. And they did. They very much did. Before the show started, you were telling me how you played a lot or have started playing bottom game.
Yeah.
I actually play it really well because I played defense for about 2 years nonstop.
Yeah.
There were not many white belts. It was a smaller gym. And sometimes I miss that gym, dude. It was just small little spot. We'd be going so hard. There's just like fog all over the place. You can barely
those glass
see.
doors.
Yeah,
like
man.
The walls were, they had like the glass on the outside looked like a fishbowl.
It's all fogged
or like
up.
a fish tank.
You can't breathe. You're like throwing the door open, trying to like get outside.
There's like a 25-degree difference from in the room and outside the room.
And everyone's a little bit bigger at Revive. I don't know if it's just like the St. Charles mentality out there, but we're a bigger gym, man, and like we go hard. Dude. Everyone's just like, but it was great, man. And I love it now, dude. Super excited for all the success.
And what belt are you now?
Purple belt.
That's awesome.
So I got promoted at the end of last year.
That's awesome. So, congratulations.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, what's one lesson that you learned in that first month of jiu-jitsu?
Oh, man. I'm not sure if it's a lesson that I've learned, but it was just reinforced, like, not to quit and to persevere. And I think what made those friendships that I'm talking about at jiu-jitsu so tight is like, you're just in the shit together, man. Like, you're literally trying to kill each other as safely as possible. Mm-hmm. But like, I remember the first time I got mounted, I was like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die, dude. Like, I couldn't breathe.
Claustrophobic feeling.
Yeah.
Like that neon belly, that first neon bellies. It's a tough one.
Dude, it's rough, man. It's tough to start too, because it's just so humbling, man. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I was pretty out of shape, 300 pounds, like not good, but like I was an athletic dude, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I could fight anyone. Man, I'm like, tough guy. I'm a big dude. Like who's gonna, come at this? And we had this dude there, Steven, the wrestler, maybe like, I don't know, 60.
Yeah, I know. I've competed against him.
Yeah. Smoked me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on in this world right now that this dude is just smoking me? Junior, man, I rolled with him last week and he just held me down for 5 minutes. It was like the worst 5 minutes of my week, dude. He's just laughing. I'm like grunting and drooling all over myself, but I'm getting off track here. It it was just
Crutchfield, breathe.
He's probably like looking over at everyone laughing. Like I'm always making loud grunting noises trying to breathe. And yeah, I'm a big dude, so they like to come at me hard and I like it. But it was tough, man. It was mentally challenging, it was physically challenging. At the time I didn't really know anyone, and I'm like, man, do I want to stay doing this, dude? Like it is rough. But Nick was great, man. He spent a lot of time with me. We did some one-on-ones. Junior is just the man, dude. Yeah, hilarious. Dan and I started to grow close together there. And, like, you can just tell that those dudes wanted to succeed. And those are the type of people I want in my life. Yeah. That want me to succeed. And I want them to succeed too, man. Right. I love the success that they have in their gym. I love to see how great of parents they're becoming, you know, like jujitsu's great. Like getting promotions great, being a purple belt's great. Like I was almost more excited when Dan got his brown belt and I got my purple belt. It happened on the same day. And I'm just like, dude, that is so sick, dude. Yeah. Like you are a brown belt. Like that's insane, man. And that's just the culture that we have there is like, we're lifting everyone up there. Yeah. Like we want to see succeed. I had my CXBJJ match a few months ago. Dude, like
that was awesome. We were there for that. That was awesome.
It was dope. And I got to wave the Taco Bell.
Yeah, that's
I think everyone was like, dude, who is this clown?
Yeah, this clown showing up with a Taco Bell flag around him.
Jiu-Jitsu needs more WWE. And I'm going to bring it. So, but yeah, man, it's like we went to Brazil, not necessarily although we joked and it was like, yeah, my fight camp's starting. We had this trip planned anyways, but down there, like Connor was helping me out. Me and Connor actually got into it a little bit down there. Oh man! And I love Connor to death, man. Super excited that he got engaged. Mm-hmm. Super excited for all the success that he has there. But like we got into it, I had to apologize to him. You know, I'm like so frustrated trying to learn all this, and he was like cool as can be about it. And Dan was there, Junior was there. Our buddy Law Dog was there. Like everyone was just doing work for me to get ready for this from that point until the match happened. And when I got on stage, I was like, yeah, dude, we're good, man. We're good. And like, it was a team in, man. I'm sure you felt it.
I felt it this past weekend for sure. Yeah. I mean, this past weekend was really cool because all three Watsons guys that went and that we all won and all three of us like all trained together like very, very consistently. The three of us, we always go to the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 10 a.m. classes. And, the three of us, we just all of us had pretty good performances and all won. And it was just felt really, really good. And we were all so locked in and man, just like, it felt like we won as a team and it just felt fucking amazing.
Yeah, man. And that's what it's about for me, dude. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it was great to get my hand raised. My kids thought I was cool, which is always cool when they're teenagers. Like,
and now they get to see that, like, okay, I can't fuck with that.
Yeah. They know what's up. Yeah. But yeah, just like having Junior and Dan in my corner, like everyone was up in the box, like cheering. It's just like, yeah, dude, this is tight, man. Dude. Like, this is what it's about. And I had no idea when I walked into that place what I was truly going to be getting out of it. You know, like I said, I was just honestly a broken dude that was like, I don't know, maybe getting beat up.
Yeah.
Will
help me.
And it did in a different way, but it did.
That's awesome. That's really, really cool.
Yeah.
So where did the nickname Boto come from?
Well, it came from Junior. I still can't tell if it's like endearment or making fun. But the Boto is a pink dolphin. Yeah. So you see where we're getting at here. They live rough lives. They live in the river, the Amazon of Brazil. And I'll probably get this a little wrong here, but basically like the Boto comes, it's like a tribal folklore.
Okay.
And the Boto comes out of the water and turns into a handsome man and steals the women. not PC for 2025. And takes them back into the water, and they become a pink dolphin as well.
Okay.
Junior might have to correct me on that. But the long and short is I'm just a very large pink dolphin.
It comes on the land and becomes a beautiful man.
Yeah. Those rare times I get to come on land and be a beautiful man. Other than that, I'm just swimming around the Amazon River fighting for my life. Again.
Which is it's a good analogy for Revive.
Yeah, exactly. So, Junior knows what he's doing when he comes up with nicknames.
That's so funny.
But yeah.
That's hilarious. Well, I mean, going back to the friends thing, I mean, I 100% agree with that. But I think the biggest thing and why it's been, because even the people that I've met through jiu-jitsu, and I've only been doing it for about a year now. I mean, the egos, there is no ego there. I feel like when you're meeting and like I've come across this where like guys got to feel like they're like got to assert their dominance. And I'm just like, yeah, dude, cool. Like, I don't give it, like, if you want to act all big and tough, cool. That's great. But I think the ego check that everyone has through jiu-jitsu, just because everyone has gotten their ass kicked. And no matter, there's always going to be someone that's going to kick your ass. Yeah. And I just think that, and like you said, going through that grind, we're all on that same path, that it just makes it easier for people to connect and more willing and open to connect.
Yeah. I mean, you're super vulnerable,
right?
You know? Like, you're out there on the mat. I mean, you are, whether you want to call it fighting or having a match or whatever, like, I mean, like every time Dan and I go, we're like, all right, we're going to go light. And like 2 seconds in, it's just like nuclear. Yeah. And like, he's trying to bow and arrow choke me. I'm trying to deep half sweep him and mount him. And it's like, we're going for it, dude. Like, we are not.
I'm not giving you a fucking inch. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I lose every time. But there will be a time.
You'll get him.
But yeah, man, there's no ego there. If you come in with an ego,
it'll be gone quick.
Or you won't hang around.
Or you just won't show back up again.
One like slightly funny ego story. When I got my blue belt, you know, when you get your blue belt, you're just like
you're on top of the world,
you know, like,
for sure.
I'm untouchable.
Well, you kind of feel like, oh man, I'm in the fucking club now. You know, like, all right, I'm not a beginner anymore.
You're a real person again.
You're a human again.
And we had this group text going, and I sent this text like jokingly. I was like, I'm coming for the purple belts. So Junior side text all the purple belts is like, Adam said he's coming for you. Some didn't know it was a joke. Some knew it was a joke. And, dude, I got beat bad for like a month. Dude. But I was like, you know, I said it and it came across the wrong way. So I'm just going to stand out in the middle of this mat and try to hold my own the best I can. And I think I earned a little bit of respect through that. But again, you know, it was like, I did have a little bit of an ego then, you know, like I made it to blue belt. Like I thought I was something special, and I was joking, and I've talked to all the guys since, and we're all super tight. And in fact, it's probably how Dan and I became so close.
Yeah.
Just because I was explaining to him my thought process, he was explaining to me, and you know, you get it all out there. But yeah, man, I did have a little bit of an ego there still, and it's like, it's tough, especially like as a man, you know, you're like, I'm a man, I'm strong, like I'm the defender of my family. And like, it's bred into you in a sense to have an ego. And yeah, man, it gets checked
real
at
quick.
The door. And if it doesn't, like I said, you won't hang around. And I want everyone to go, dude. And I want everyone to stay, man. It's made me a billion times better of a person.
I agree.
Being at jiu-jitsu, man. And like, I make mistakes all the time. And, you know, some are on the mats, some are off the mats. And those are the dudes that I go to. And like, if I have something going on in my life, like I'm talking to Junior and Dan about it. And I'm like, dude, this is stressing me out. Like I remember one night, dude, I was super stressed about something. And they're like, let's barbecue. I was like, nah, dude. I was like, I'm staying at home, man. Like I'm so down, dude. And I'm just like sitting in my room with the lights off. Like, you know, they're like, no, dude, if you don't come over, we're coming to get you. I was like, all right, fine. So I like mope over there and I'm like complaining about everything that's going on. And they like talked me through it, dude. And Junior made a ton of steak. We ate, we laughed, dude. His daughters were like giving me a hard time, you know, like his wife, Jessica, who's amazing, was there. And it's like, dude, they're like my family, man. And they pick me up when I'm down on and off the mats. And again, like that's what's just so at least unique about the jiu-jitsu experience that I've had with Revive, Watson's, Head Nod, like TAC Team, is it's very much like servant focused leadership to serve the people that walk through that door. So like I say, that ego gets checked, but it's in a way to make you a better person.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. It's changed my life. I agree with everything you said. It's definitely made me a better person. I've made some of the best friends through that. I've met so many great people. I mean, on and off the mat. Just like you said, I mean, I've had so many people there that I've been able to help them with real estate. I've been able to help them move. I've been able to, like all these things. I've been to birthday parties, all these friends that I wouldn't have had because I, decided to walk through jiu-jitsu, walk into a jiu-jitsu gym one day. And that's one thing that's really cool about, you mentioned it, but like the whole like TAC team community here in St. Louis, it's like we're all one team, like we all go train at each other's gyms constantly. Like, yes, I'm a member at Watson's, but like I go to Revive pretty regularly. I've been to Head Nod before, it's like we all train together and everybody just wants to see everybody succeed.
Yeah.
It's like the opposite of that crabs in a bucket mentality, like crabs in a bucket, they all want to pull each other down, but like jiu-jitsu is the opposite. Like the rising tide raises all ships. It's like that mentality. And it's really something special.
Yeah, man. It's cool. It's filled a void in my life since I left Columbia, coming up to St. Louis, in so many ways. Like faith is also really important in my life. And I've struggled with finding a church in St. Louis. Part of it is like St. Louis just very heavy Catholic, and I wasn't Catholic. Moved up here. My kids go to Catholic school, so I converted to be Catholic. It's just a little different. And a lot of it was like, I just had like tight dudes in Columbia that like I shared faith with. They shared it with me. And like, I'm starting to kind of see that come to fruition with some dudes that I know at Revive. I know Connor, like him and I have a lot of conversations about it. We've started a little bit of a small group there where we're reading through the book of Matthew. And like, if you told me that is what was going to come out of me showing up to Revive like 5 years ago, I'd be like, I doubt it, dude. Like these meatheads. Yeah. and I didn't even know anyone before I showed up, but like, that was just my mindset. It was like, oh, these dudes are just like fighters.
Yeah,
like,
they got cauliflower here. They're just tough guys.
Like alpha males and, get beat up by enough 150, 160 pound, gamers or whatever. You're like, hold on, what is going on? But, it was like, dude, this is wild, man. Like, we're talking about like faith is the most important thing in my life. And I try to live it out the best I can. I obviously come very short of it, but that is like, Jesus is my benchmark, and that's what I want to be like. And I want to share that with people. I want to share it with people at work, share it with people at jiu-jitsu, everywhere. And like, for that to kind of like start to come together at Revive, I was like, dude, man, this is super dope. And like, I did not think that this was going to happen, especially, February of 2020 or March, once COVID hit. And I'm just like sitting in this rental house, like 2 couches. Like, dude, what is going on with your life right now? To like where I am now. And it's awesome, man. It's just so cool to like see people want that and to want to share that. And just, again, it goes back to the vulnerability. It's like, you're so vulnerable out there on the mat. And like, most dudes at Revive can beat me, dude. And like, I don't have an ego there. And I just think it opens you up to be like, all the walls are down, man. So I'm just Adam there. I'm the Boto when I leave there. But yeah, like, I can just be myself, man. And like, that is freeing and really cool.
Now, was faith something that you were always strong with before you came, or was that something that really took off once you got here?
So my faith journey probably started about 12 years ago. It was the same time, actually, I don't drink alcohol. I quit drinking when
Good for
my
you.
kids were, thank you, 1 and 2. And, I mean, I had a problem with it then, but I was just like a weekend warrior. And it was like, dude, you know, it was kind of like that ego. I'm like, dude, I work so hard. I provide for this family.
I deserve
like,
this.
yeah, dude.
Especially
I
being in
deserve
the
it.
real estate industry as a whole.
Yeah, dude. There was no shortage of Jaeger bombs, Rumpelman shots. And, you know, it wasn't like I was making like terrible decisions. You know, I wasn't like getting arrested, you know, or anything like that. But then I'm like, dude, is that the benchmark in your life? Like not getting arrested?
Yeah.
Like, cool. Like, and it was, you know, I just had a little time to reflect, and I was like, I always wanted to be a dad, man. So bad. I had a lot of great men in my life, especially my grandpa. I didn't really have a dad growing up, and I was like, dude, I'm going to be the best possible dad I can. And then here I am, you know, with 2 young kids, and all my weekend time is spent, you know, partying, drinking, not getting arrested, you know.
Hungover when you're not drinking.
Dude, yeah, man. I'd like wake up and kids are wanting to play, and I'm like, give me a water, you know, and I'm just like, dude, like, is this the life that you want to live? Because if it is, then live it, man. But like for me, it wasn't. And I was sad, like didn't feel good, didn't feel successful. All I ever wanted to do was be a dad. And here I am ultimately failing at it. And it's like, what's in my way? And at the time it was alcohol. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to take a little break. You know, just like right the ship. We'll be good. That break's lasted like 12 years now. So,
that's awesome.
Just decided to never go back to it.
Yeah, no, man. I just like couldn't find a reason to. Like, I have a great time going out, hanging out. Like, also kind of realized like most people weren't drinking 800 Busch Lights and 37 Jaeger shots every night we went out. Like, I remember the first night I went out, I was like, I'll drive everyone home. I'm sure I owe you guys. And then like everyone drove home, and I'm like, hold on, guys, don't drink and drive. They're like, I had 1 beer. I was like, dude, what is going on?
You only had 1 beer.
Like,
what's the point?
You know, my mind just couldn't rationalize that. But, you know, it was just, I could never find a reason to go back to it. Like, there wasn't some low point in my life where I was like, alcohol is going to help. No, it didn't. Always made it worse. There wasn't like some high point where I was like, dude, if I would have been drinking, how much higher of that point would it have been? Like,
Right.
It wouldn't. And at that time, I had a couple really good mentors in my life that pointed me towards Jesus. And at first I was like, I don't know, dude. I'm like, I'll give it a shot, but I don't. And my thought process was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm not really a good person. Not a bad person, but not a good person. I'm not a church guy. And they spent a lot of time with me, man, explaining like the word, explaining, you know, Jesus to me, who he was. Like, yeah, dude, we're all sinners. And that's why he came to save us and provide a path to heaven. And I know people hear that all the time, and I don't throw that away. Just like, you know, I truly, truly believe that. But ultimately I started thinking like, what kind of life do I want to live? Like, what kind of legacy do I want to live? What kind of life do I want my kids to live? And how can I provide that for them? Being a guy that drinks on the weekends because he works hard, and society's like, yeah, dude, for sure. Like, you definitely can do that.
Deserve it.
Yeah.
It's acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing with alcohol is it's just deemed so acceptable in our society. Everybody does. It's like, it's the one drug that people, when you say, you know, oh no, I'm not drinking or whatever.
They're
they
gonna look at you
just,
like,
yeah,
what?
you got
Like, what's wrong with
They
you?
just assume that you have a problem with it or something,
Right.
you know? And, you know, it's not necessarily the case for
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, I think being sober is kind of like becoming a little more popular now, which is, and again, I don't have any qualms with anyone that wants to drink. For me, it just wasn't something that like put me on the path that I wanted to be on. And again, like, I talk to my kids a little bit about it. You know, they're still like, my son's a freshman in high school, so we talk a little bit, and he's kind of still like, I'm like, there will come a time, dude, in high school, like you're for sure probably going to drink. You know, I hope
I know
not.
I did.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I hope not. I, you know, but I get it, man. And a lot of my drinking started with just not even like peer pressure, like you're not going to be cool, but like I specifically remember being at this party in high school and drinking a few beers, and I was talking to these really good looking girls, and I was like, oh dang, dude, you got it.
Yeah.
And now I probably looked like the guy from not super or whatever movie it is where he's like looking at himself in the mirror, like acting all suave, but then the mirror shows back and he's like, but I was like, dude,
You're really pretty.
Yeah. Hey.
All
But
I can think of is that Paul Rudd movie. You want to see my dick?
I'm sure it was like all that morphed into one, but in my mind, I'm like, dude, like, you know, I'm like,
I'm smooth.
I'm smooth, man. This is great. Like, and then to be like, people would laugh. Like, I'd make people, you know, I was like the funny guy. And yeah, like I get it, man. Like, and I'm young and impressionable. And then it just kind of took off and like I couldn't really stop. So it's like, I try to portray it to my kids in a way that's like, yeah, man, it's not bad. And I'm not saying that I'm like, yeah, go out and drink. I'm definitely not. But like, I don't know, alcohol's not bad. I know a ton of people that drink responsibly and they enjoy it. So it's more just like, hey, this is my experience with it. And your experience will be different. And I just want to make sure you know, A, that I'm always here, always, 100%, no matter what, always here. And B, just like, I mean, it can be dangerous, you know? A lot of things can be dangerous. I have a little bit of an addictive personality, like jujitsu, man. Like, I want to do it all the time. And I haven't been training as much lately, which sucks, dude, because I'm like, I want to get in there and like, I want to hang out with the boys and like cut it up. But like, I just got things going on in my life with my kids right now. And I always said, like, hey, I'm not going to, jujitsu can't be the number one in my life. You know, it can be close, you know, it can be very close, but, you know, my family's got to come first. My kids have to come first. And I have to remind myself that all the time. But, you know, for me, it was just alcohol didn't put me on the path that I wanted to be on. I didn't see a successful path with that. And I don't think it was, I wouldn't be the man I am today if I had continued drinking.
Well, that's awesome.
Probably would have got divorced a lot sooner when it came to Revive. I can only imagine what my divorce would have been like if I was drinking. I mean, nightmare me. And my kid's mom are on like great terms. She's a great mom, co-parent really well. Again, yeah, it just, divorce is tough. And like, if I was drinking, it would have been an absolute nightmare. And ultimately, without alcohol in my life, I'm able to put what is important in my life first. And that's my kids.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now, did you do any, like, when you quit drinking, did you just, like, cold turkey, or did you do any, like, AA or anything like that? I know a lot of AA has a lot of, like, faith-based stuff to it, so I was just curious if those kind of coincided.
I've been to some AA meetings with people. I think AA is great. Actually, St. Louis has, like, a really, really solid
I've heard
AA
that.
community. Yeah, like, really good. For me, I didn't go to AA meetings. I actually ended up like falling into this group called the Business Advantage. It was ran by some Christian men in Colombia, not AA or alcohol related at all. It was just like this group. And the idea behind it was going below news, weather, and sports, right? Because we're like dudes. So we're like, how'd the Cardinals do? Oh, you catch those UFC fights. All right, cool. You good? I'm good. All right, cool. Let's move on. When really, like, sometimes I'm not good, dog. Like, sometimes I'm really not good. And this group was probably like 100 men. And you'd break down into tables of 4, read scripture, talk about what's going on in your life, and just try to build each other up and become better men. So it almost was like a de facto AA. Met a guy through there. His name's Craig. Phenomenal guy. He's a mentor of mine. We still meet every Friday. He lives in Chicago now via Zoom. And he had quit drinking a long time before me. And he went to AA. So it was almost like this de facto, like AA of sorts. But I never personally went to AA. I do think it's a great group. And again, in St. Louis, I know a lot of people that do go to AA, and they just have wonderful things to say about the community there.
Yeah, I mean, we wear these things, and it's amazing. It's amazing what we've learned just like having a drink.
Yeah,
how much that'll fuck up your sleep, and like it's. I mean,
man, it's wild. Like I rarely drink anymore. And this past weekend, after I won on Saturday night, I had I think I had 5 beers total, which. Back in the day when I was drinking all the time, that's
a warm up.
It's a warm up, And I was feeling it after 5 beers, but I mean, waking up and my recovery on here was 5%.
Yeah, I saw that post. I was like,
I also crushed almost an entire Emo's pizza like right before I went to bed, which probably didn't help.
I still be crushing pizzas on a raid. I do be crushing that. I was telling someone the other day, I'm like, dude, like if I eat pizza now. Like, I feel hungover the next day. I'm like, is that what being mid 40-year-old is, dude? Like, I'm like, can't sleep. Race in the bathroom. I'll just leave the rest of the details out. Yeah. And I'm just like, like, what is going on? Am I sick? It's like, nah, I just ate one too many slices, bud. And now you're hungover. It's like, what is my life come to?
One too many slices.
Well, that's like I've had to like cut pizza out because I get. Anything with red sauce, I get really, really bad heartburn.
Yeah,
terrible heartburn. Like, like I'm if I eat anything with red sauce, like I have to crush like 10 Tums before bed, or I'm gonna be hurting. And so and then I was out of Tums the other night, and I'm like, fuck, what am I gonna do? Thinking, I'm like, milk. So I just got up and was like crushing at like 3 o'clock in the morning because that's usually when it hits me. And I'll just be like tossing and turning, and I'm like, and I just chugged. It was like chugging milk until it was gone. But it was fucking heartburn sucks. But yeah, red sauce gets me, so I gotta be careful of that. Make sure I'm shying away from anything. But yeah, no, that's
I feel
getting old sucks.
Yeah, dude, it does.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you just don't recover like you used to.
Oh.
Like
I mean, the testosterone helps, but not that much.
That helps.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but you've mentioned being a man and manhood and all that, and with all the things that you've been through within the last 12 years, quitting alcohol, then COVID and getting divorced, joining Revive. How have you redefined masculinity for yourself?
Yeah, man, that's a great question. Because like growing up, you turn 18, you're like, all right, I'm a man. And like a lot of what I thought being a man was like, it sounds cliche, but just like what I saw in movies and TVs. And I was like, dude, you got to be hard. You got to be strong. Like, absolutely, we're not sharing our feelings.
We don't fucking cry.
Yeah, dude, like all that stuff, man. And I got to be successful. I got to make money. I got to, it was all these like tangible things, just this facade of what I thought being a man was. And I tried to live that way, up until I was about 30. And I was like, damn, dude. And that was about the time I quit drinking. I was like, I don't know. I was like, it ain't working. I was like, I'm not sure. And now, it's like, I'm in touch with my feelings, man. And I like feel my feelings and I share them, I share them with Junior, Dan, my boy Craig up in Chicago. I'm actually calling him right after this show, just to go over like some, things in my life. And like, he's a wealth of knowledge. And it's like, dude, I don't have to do life alone. And that was kind of the biggest revelation was like, I'm not alone, man. Like, I think as men, we just get it in our idea that we got to be this self-made, like self-successful, like do it all on our own. And it's like, yeah, man, like I like to do stuff on my own. I want to be successful, but like I can't, man. Like we're not designed to just be singular beings, on this earth. Like we're designed to be in community. And I think that's what I love about jiu-jitsu so much is it's a phenomenal community that's lifting dudes up, man. And like, that's the thing is like, I need these men in my life. Like I need to be in other men's life. Like I look at the way Craig mentors me and I'm like, am I mentoring other men like this so they can avoid the pitfalls in life that I'm avoiding? It's like, what do I turn 18 and all of a sudden I know how to date, how to, what I should do when I get married, all these things like, I just have these basic rules of, and again, like when I say I wasn't getting arrested, Like, that was my benchmark, man. It's like, yeah, I wasn't getting arrested.
Not that bad.
Yeah, so like, I'm good, man. But no, man, there's more to life than that. And you just can't achieve it on your own. Like, you have to have a community around you. You got to have men around you that you trust. And I absolutely trust these dudes. And I share stuff with them that I know they're not going to share with other people. I don't want them to share it with other people, but I can't keep it inside, man, because it will eat me alive. I was joking because I had to go to the dentist earlier on today. And they were like, man, how bad was it? I was like, well, I had to sit there in my own mind for about 2 hours. And, it can get pretty dangerous in there. But like, I'm half joking about it, but it's like, no, man, like, I got to share what's going on in my mind, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling. I need advice from other men. I didn't know how to get divorced. And a lot of people were giving me really bad advice. And
like what?
Oh, it's just like, oh, you should,
all like an asshole to them.
Yeah,
I got the same advice.
Yeah, dude, all like, self-serving.
What the fuck is that going to solve?
Right, dude. And it's like, hey, man, I get it. Like, it was a crappy situation. Neither one of us did anything wrong. It just didn't work out. And again, like, what is my goal in life? Is it to prove that I'm right, or like just shred this person to death so I can stand up on the podium and be like, yay, I won the shredding contest? Or is it to raise a strong son, to raise beautiful, smart, strong daughters, to create a loving family for him, even if me and their mom aren't married? Like, when I was married, I used to read Ephesians 5:25, and it basically says, love your wife like Jesus loves the church. And like, I tried to do that the best I could, and our marriage didn't work out.
Doesn't mean you still can't.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Is like, I still read that verse, and like, the love is definitely different. We're not married. She's remarried. Her husband's great stepdad to my kids. I'm lucky in that sense there. But like, I absolutely still can love her in a different way. And the way that I do that is by co-parenting well. And I check my ego, man. Like, yeah, sometimes it's real annoying to I got to drive the uniform over or the backpack. Like, oh man, like, I'm trying to golf. I'm trying to do jujitsu. It's like, dude, it's like 5-10 minutes, man. Like, go over there, do it. And like, she helps me out a ton too. But yeah, it was like, oh, like, show her what's up, or like, do this or that. And I'm like, luckily I had other people in my life that were like, yeah, you can absolutely try to do that. Like, what point are you trying to achieve here? That you're somehow right and justified in this? Because what you told me was like, your kids are the most important thing. So if your kids are the most important thing, then like, let's rethink this approach forward. And I think she took the same approach too. I'm not saying that I'm right or she's wrong at all. I'm saying that we both do our best as imperfect people to put our egos aside, to make sure that our kids have the most loving home or homes to grow up in. And that's what I want, man. Like, I want them to see me still loving their mom, just in a different way, not as a husband. And that's tough sometimes.
You and I could have a very long podcast.
I was like, Pat, you take this, because I know this is all you, buddy.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the same thing for me. I mean, I think it's more of a man to stand up and show, like, hey, I'm going to support her in her decisions and what she's doing, than to try and bring her down. That just makes us look bad.
Yeah.
It makes you look like a better person when you can stand up and be like, no, we've got a great relationship and all that. And it drives me nuts when I hear it makes me upset when I hear divorces aren't like that. Like, don't like each one's tearing it. Again, I think it has to go back. You said it, you put your ego aside. Same. Like, the very first thing. So like, when it happened, so my ex-wife and I were talking about separating. And we had a little bit of a conversation, and she went on a trip and met someone, came back, and they were in love. They're still together today. And that kind of just sped up, like, hey, all right, this is over. It's been over for a long time. We sat down, had a really long conversation about all of it, very amicable. And we thought, like, hey, people are telling us we need to get lawyers involved. So we each go and talk to a lawyer. And the best thing that I could have done was go and sit down and have that consultation with a lawyer. Because the first thing he asked me was like, what did you do that caused her to want to go fall in love with someone else? And I was like, at first I was like, fuck you, dude. I didn't do shit. Yeah. And like he's like, no, really, like really think about it. Like, I'm paying you fucking $500 for this hour just for you to give me a counseling session on this. But no, it was the best question that could have ever been asked, because I really did have to sit back and think. I'm like, you know what? Like, we weren't in love. Like, I love her because she's the mother of my child and my children, but I wasn't in love with her. And if I truly was in love with her, and she was in love with me, that probably wouldn't happen, because we would have filled each other's cups according to the love language stuff. But we didn't, we didn't do that. We were just roommates that happened to make 2 awesome kids. And that's what, that's what we were brought together to do. And now it's, how do we move past this and be the best for our kids? And that question was like, where did I fuck up that caused her to do this? And I just had to own it. And I apologized to her, and she was just like, wait, what did you just say? And it caught her by surprise. I was like, yeah, no, I'm sorry that I wasn't the husband that you needed, and that I couldn't be the husband that you needed. That's not your fault. That's my fault. I own that. And I don't have any problems. I don't have any faults for what happened or how this all went down. But, and then I became good friends with him. And like, they're both real estate agents. I work with both of them. And they're great. He is a great stepdad to the boys. And the boy, like, I'm like, you can call Dalton, you can call him dad. Like, it's okay. Like, it doesn't bother me. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you start calling him dad too. You don't have to call him Dalton. If you want to call him dad. And so, it's great. I mean, like, we still go my parents live in Florida, so we'll go down there as a whole. And we all spent Christmas together with my parents down there. My ex-wife flew down with the boys, and Dalton and I drove 10 hours in a car together with our dog. So like, I just don't understand why people wouldn't want that if the kids are the most important thing. I don't understand why people wouldn't want to try and mend that relationship afterwards. But I also understand, like, hey, people can't put their egos aside. Yeah. We're used to getting our asses kicked and having our ego checked constantly. So that probably helps. But at the same time, I think everybody needs something like that to check their ego and move on and forgive. And I mean, like, the faith and all that and being spiritual, like, the biggest thing is forgiveness. Yeah. And if you can't, then, one, are you living a faith-based life or a spiritual life? And 2, are you really do you really truly love your kids? Or you would be doing everything you could to fix that? You know what I mean? You have to be together. Yeah. So, I mean, I agree with that, man. And like, sorry that you got divorced. Like, it sucks, even if you take, the high road there. But yeah. And again, I know not every divorce is the same. And like, some people like have really traumatic divorces, and like, being friends is just not on the table. I get that. A lot of divorces, I just feel like are, again, it kind of goes back to whenever you're like talking about, do you know, like, or the redefinition of manhood. And like, when I was in college, I was like, man, I got to find a wife sometime in my 20s, right? Like, that's what I got to do. And I don't think I really had the right mindset on what I wanted in a wife. And more importantly, like, what I would be as a husband, I tried my best to be the best husband I could. I was, learning on the fly. And like, you got to, of course, but like, I didn't really know, man. I just knew it was like, well, this is what we do. But yeah, I mean, it just, again, it comes down to like, what's important in your life? What do you want your life to look like? And like, how are you going to achieve that? And me doing anything but putting the kids first and loving them, like, wasn't what I needed to do. And it was tough financially, very tough emotionally, very tough to move cities, to be alone during COVID. It was tough, man. And I could have easily just, went off the rails, but I was like, all right, this is what's important. So remember what is important. Remember what we're fighting for. And ultimately, like I said, me and her had the same goal. And like, everything ended the way it did. And we're good friends now. I play golf with her husband. They take me up to play golf. I go over for
Christmas, Halloween, whatever. Like we just do stuff together, and like it's weird to people, but I'm like, I don't know, man. Like loving my kids isn't weird, so like that's what I'm gonna do. And you know, if it makes you feel weird, I don't know. Maybe you should just reflect a little bit,
right?
And again, I do want to be clear. I know that not every divorce is as amicable as mine, and there is, certain situations where you're probably just not going to be friends. But at the end of the day, it was also what was best for me, because if I'm hanging on to this, like if I'm hanging on to this hate, and she's just out there like living her life, having fun, like what's that doing for me?
Yeah,
like she, like I'm just ruining my own life, and that's divorce, or if you don't get a promotion at work or whatever it might be, it's like, I don't know, man. Like as men, we just got to move on. And the best way that I've found to move on is to have other strong men in my life that I can share. Cause I'm like, dude, this stuff sucks. It sucks. It's hard. Like I say, just move on. Like it's not that easy, man. But if you're doing it solo, good luck, dude. Like good luck. Like,
yeah, and you mentioned it there, carrying that hate. I mean, and that's another thing that I always was like, all right, if these kids are half me, half her, and if I hate her, in my mind, I hated half of my kids.
Yeah,
and I don't. I love my kids 100% for who they are, what they get from me, what they get from her, everything. I mean, shit, my oldest is her fucking twin. Like, he's just the male version of her.
Yeah,
and like every time I look at him, I'm like, and just little like a kid picture, like put them side by side, they're identical, and it's just like I can't. There's no way that I could ever hate her.
Yeah,
ever.
I mean, there's just and I love my kids. They love their mom. Mm-hmm. They love me. I don't have to like fight to be like I'm your dad or anything, like when you were talking about Dalton. Like they're always, they're going to love me more than their stepdad, and that's no shade against their stepdad. Right. Dude's phenomenal, but I'm their dad, man. Like they are going to love me, man. Like, and I don't have to be worried about that, especially when I'm living a life that's worth living. Like they can see it. They see me succeeding at work. They see me succeeding at jiu-jitsu. Like they see me going to church. Like I can tell my kids until I'm blue in the face what to do. And that's the other thing with drinking is like, I can tell them to not drink. And then if I'm sitting there, crushing Busch Lights, like what are they going to do? They're going to crush Busch Lights, dude. Like you can say all you want to say, but it is your actions that they are going to follow. My youngest, dude, I rage sometimes, man. I don't like it. And I try not to. And man, me and her will just go at it at times. And I've had to apologize to her a few times. It's weird apologizing to an 8 or 9-year-old, but I'm like, I was absolutely in the wrong. And like, you need to know that I was wrong. And I'm very sorry for the way I acted. But they act like me too. And like, I got to be accountable for my actions, and I have to live the way, if I want them to live and grow up a certain way, this mindset that I have in my mind, I have to be the one that lives that way. So me hating on their mom, that's not it, man. No. They're going to get married one day. Right. They're going to go through marital problems. I hope that they don't get divorced. I really hope they don't. And when those troubled times come, I hope they can look back and be like, dang, man, mom and dad handled that well. Dad handled that well. Like, I'm going to handle it how dad handled it. I hope they call me and I'm like,
yeah.
But, it's the way that I live is the way that they're going to live. And that's my main focus. That's why I don't drink. That's why faith's important. That's why I go hard at everything I do.
Yeah, I think the best compliment I've gotten from about the divorce is from their teachers, and they're just being like, "We never would have like you can." She's like, the teacher was like, "You can tell when kids come from a divorced family by how they act," and I think the greatest thing is our kids don't act that way. Yeah, and that's the most important thing for us.
Yeah, man, you're loving them in the best way you can. Yep. You're a great dad.
I appreciate it. So are you.
It's amazing. Well, to kind of change topics here a little bit, but Adam, so you've been a loan officer for a long time. And you closed 2,500 VA loans. That's crazy.
Somewhere in that range there. Yeah,
that's incredible.
What got you into the industry from the jump?
Oh man, I wish I had like some good story about this, but Veterans United opened up in Columbia and all my buddies worked there. And like at that time, dude, Columbia was not a fun place to live if you were in your 20s or 30s. Everyone came down there, went to college, and dipped right back out. Yeah. And this company did a great job of keeping younger people in Columbia. It really shaped the landscape of Columbia moving forward, kept a lot of young families there that are, I guess we're now getting old with the old families there, but a lot of my buddies worked there, dude, and it was the fun place to work. You could wear jeans and a t-shirt to work. They had snacks, massages, free lunch. I was like, Doug, free lunch. Sign me up. And yeah, I had no idea what I was getting into, man. I was just like, sounds cool to me. And dude, it's been a blessing. I met my mentor, Craig. I met him there. I met a lot of the guys that really shaped my faith there. One of the owners is very outspoken about his faith. You don't have to, follow any certain faith to work there, obviously, but just met a lot of good guys there, and it really shaped, my early adulthood years. And then on top of that, like I didn't serve in the military. I went to high school. I graduated high school in 2000, so it was like relatively peacetime. And then obviously 9/11 happened in 2001, but like I wasn't serving in the military or anything. So I was like, I know this is a tough gig, but like, hey, thank you for your service. And I've just worked with so many veterans, and it's just a blessing, dude, to help them into a home. I mean, they fight for this land, and then to give them or help them obtain a piece of it is great. I've learned a lot about PTSD, a lot about just the veteran community. Yeah, man, it's been great, dude. And I enjoy the company, and I think that they do everything they can to take care of their employees the best that they can. And again, it just kind of goes back to everything we've been talking about. Is like, I do feel cared for there. It's been rough past few years. Like with, culture can always be really good when everyone's making a lot of money. Right. Yeah. when those deals start minimizing, like it can get tough. But again, like I do think at the end of the day, they care for me there. And like, I look back, I mean, I had all my kids there. I got married there. I got divorced there. I met some of my best friends there. Like every aspect of my adult life has been lived out there. And it's great, man. It's shaped me into a better man in there, and getting to help veterans. And it's just rad, dude. It's cool. Like I love it, man. And I didn't serve, so it's just my little way of like at least being able to kind of give back.
Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. That was when I first got in the business. So my mom was a loan officer for 47 years when she retired in 2017. And she first started at Illini Federal Credit Union, which transitioned and all that, but she was like the main person for Scott Air Force Base. So when I got into the business, that was the first. She's like, this is the first program you're going to learn. Yeah. And she's like, for whatever reason, people shy away from it, but it is one of the easiest loan programs to get people approved for. And again, you're, like you said, you're giving back to the community that has fought for you to have the freedoms and everything that you have. So I did. That's what I learned. And I went out and I sold myself as the guy that knows everything there is to know about VA loans. And that was the greatest thing I could have done, because there was just not very many people wanted to touch them. They were going to figure out every possible way to convince a veteran not to use their VA benefits. And the sad thing about that is we saw a lot of that in 2020 and 2021 when there was so many offers on homes that agents were just shying away. What's one thing that you would want to say to an agent that if they were listening to this, to tell them like, hey, VA loans aren't this terrible thing that you're thinking that they are?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it just revolves around the appraisal.
Yeah, that's really good.
And I think it's just a lot of misinformation. You just like, one person has a deal that goes south, and then all of a sudden they're telling someone else and someone else, like, get an expert that knows VA loans. Like, VA loans, like, And one of the things that you said there too was they're an easy loan, man. Like
super easy,
dude. I can qualify people up so much higher on debt to income ratio. lower credit, better rates, no down payment. I could go on, you know, and it's just a lack of information, you know, and real estate as a whole, man, can be a tough business, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of bad realtors out there. There's a lot of bad loan officers out there. There's a low bar of entry, in my opinion, on all sides.
I say that all the time.
Yeah, definitely needs to be raised.
Yeah. And like, you just get people out there wanting to make money, dude, and they're going to do what they need to do to get the deal done.
We're probably going to see that shit happening again here before too long, now that rates are dropping. Right.
Rates are dropping. I assume that home prices will probably tick up a little bit, maybe. It's hard to say. There's so many people sitting on the sidelines waiting to purchase. So it's like, when it hits, it's going to be wild. But it's like, you know, and I always try to focus on the way over here. I was talking with someone and they're putting a down payment down and they're like, should I do a conventional loan? And I said, hey, man, we have that option for sure. But you get VA disability, so you don't pay a VA funding fee. Right. There's no down payment, so you're throwing this down payment in there. Cool, great. The rates are lower. You're going to have a lower payment. So, like, no, man, like, I don't think it's the right move for you there.
Right.
And again, you know, if conventional was the right move, absolutely. Like, let's do it there. I mean, we predominantly do VA loans, but yeah, man, it's just a lack of knowledge. A lot, you know, people want to get into the real estate field to make money and not to be an expert and not to serve their clients. And what you will learn is the more you become an expert and the more you serve other people, the more success you're going to see. And I'm not saying that I do that just so I can be successful. Like, I try to take this servant mindset in everything I do. Jiu-jitsu, parenting, friendships, at work too. And I found the more that I serve people, the more they're going to trust me, the easier the deals are going to be. And then I was telling you, I don't go out and get my own business, but a lot of people will start to refer their friends to me. Realtors will trust me. I do loans in about 15, 16, 17 different states. I don't know. I can't even remember. So I work with a lot of different real estate agents. I've started to get closer with other real estate agents. Makes the deal so much better because they trust me. I trust them. You know, if I ask for something, they get it because they know we need it. I'm not having to have, 50 conversations like, well, I didn't need this on the last time or this or that, And again, not to say that those conversations are wrong or anything, but like, they trust me. And again, I think just having a servant mindset really in all that you do is going to make your life easier. You're going to have more success and the people around you are going to have more success.
I always talk about it too. Like, it's, as a loan officer, you have two different sides to the selling aspect. Like, one, really, like for me, like, I'm selling myself. I'm doing more selling to a real estate agent to hey, build friendships, all this stuff, to get them to trust me and refer me. When it comes to my clients, I'm not trying to sell them on anything. I'm just trying to educate them and give them all the options and scenarios that are best for them. And we'll sit down and we'll do a consultation and weigh it all out. And if that's what, that's the biggest thing, is just making sure that they're well educated.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, like, I honestly, he's been in here. I was like, I tell more people no than anything, like, especially like right now with refinancing.
Yeah.
Like, people call in like, oh, I want to refi. And I'm just like, it's not a good time. Like, it's not what's going to be best for you right now. Like, you're going to just be refinancing again in the future. So, like, maybe wait unless there's some other aspect that goes into it. And, but yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing too, is like, he referred a client over to me that we helped their daughter. The parents are buying now, and they called me to get a loan for it. And I'm just like, you got this massive line of credit against your retirement assets. That's going to be cheaper and better and quicker and easier for you than going through the process with me. Like, yeah, no, I'm not going to get paid on this, but that's your best option. So, and I had another client in the same situation. Next thing you know, they've got their 3 kids calling me to get pre-approved.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to trade not doing this one deal and give them the best advice and get 3 deals out of it. Like, that's what people don't get. Like, that's not money that I need to make, but being able to help people that actually need the help, that's a different thing. It's a different ball game.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to be in the real estate game for a long time and see long-term success, you got to have that mentality to serve people. If you want to be in it to make a quick buck, you can, but you're not going to last. No. And you're going to have some really bad months. You're going to have some droughts. And I'm sure you guys probably see it more. It seems like you maybe do it more locally, whereas I'm a little more across the United States. But it's like, if you're continually giving people bad advice, like your name, like, I wouldn't use that,
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like your reputation matters, dude, in all that you do, man. Like, you have to be, this is people's biggest purchase of their life. And if they don't trust you, they're going to go somewhere else. I mean, plain and simple.
Because there's another loan officer right down the street.
Right.
Yeah.
There's another, their agent can send them another number in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's all, you got to focus on them. And, something that you say a lot, and I've definitely adopted this mindset is, we don't count units sold or houses sold or loans closed. It's families helped.
Yeah.
Like that's, I love like that whole mentality about it. It's kind of that whole servant mindset.
Yeah.
Thinking about how many people did I get to help this year? Like, hell yeah, I get to help 35 people buy a house this year. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Get them into a home that they didn't have or something that they needed or whatever it was. Just families helped. I think that definitely changed my mindset when I started thinking about it like that.
For sure. Now, you say you said 15 or 16 different states. Is there a market that's just hotter than anywhere right now?
No, I don't think there's like a hot market. I mean, everyone's pretty much the same. We're starting to see a little bit more inventory come. I mean, like there's certain areas that are a little bit better. More, I mean, in a sense that there's more veterans. Like I'm licensed in Texas, good spot.
Yeah.
Florida. Also, if you're receiving 100% VA service connected disability, you don't pay property taxes in Texas. You don't pay property taxes. Florida, Illinois, New Jersey. There's a handful of states, and dude, that makes a difference.
Huge.
Missouri's, I feel like, a little behind the 8-ball on that.
Agreed.
Unfortunately, it's like, I'm gonna get again. I didn't serve, and I don't ever want to like pretend like I did, but to get 100% service connected VA disability, like
you did some shit.
Yeah, like it's cool to just not pay property taxes.
Right.
Like it's the least that we could do. But in terms of like a qualifying standpoint, though, it definitely makes it easier.
Oh, for sure.
For people, especially when when I first started doing it, I think my average loan amount was like $220,000. It's probably like $380,000 or like $400,000 at this point. And I primarily do first-time home buyers. I don't know the exact breakdown, but a lot of first-time home buyers with a VA loan. So like it's tough. Like it's tough to afford. Like the house that I bought in Columbia, Missouri, I bought it for $100,000. I looked it up on Zillow the other day, just because me and one of my buddies were like laughing about this house. Like sold for like $280,000. I'm like, dude, it was called We Wind. That was the name of the street. I'm like, the We sold for $280,000, dude. Can you believe that? Like us bums used to like live in there, dude. Like, but yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more inventory, I feel like, coming on. Like we're seeing a little bit more seller paid closing costs, which is always a nice thing, especially with the no down payment. A lot of people want to get in with no money out of pocket. But everyone's so hyper focused on rates, which is important, obviously important there. And again, the approach that I just take is like, hey, what type of payment are we trying to stay within? Same. And like, yeah, we'll try to get you the lowest interest rate you can. But like the interest rate might only make like $30, $40 difference. Whereas like if you're 100% VA service connected disability in Texas and you're paying $800 in property taxes, huge. Yeah. Homeowners insurance, that has gone through the roof. So like,
insane. That's the one thing people don't talk about.
Right. Yeah, man. And there's like so many things like that. So again, it's just more of a holistic approach. Cause I just want to, again, it just goes back to serving people. Like, how can I best serve you? And yes, interest rate is a part of that. Absolutely. And I am hoping that those bad boys go down.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
I want them just as bad as anyone else. But there are other aspects to the payment that are important to discuss. And so that they know what they're getting into. And if like you absolutely cannot pay more than $2,000, we probably don't need to do a $2,000 payment because your taxes are probably going to go up next year.
Right.
I mean, and explaining that, all that stuff's important there. So.
100%.
Yeah. Just taking like you said, I like that holistic approach to it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Adam, it's been great having you in here. Is there anything that we didn't get to that you wanted to chat about?
I mean, the only thing that I had on my mind, first of all, love the TikTok videos, although I assume they're on TikTok. I don't know. I'm old, so.
Just do Instagram.
Okay, cool. Because I only do Instagram Reels, and like
Me too.
some of the people I work with are like, of course you do. They act like I'm like a boomer. I'm like, of course I do. Why would I have TikTok?
We're not on Facebook.
Yeah.
I just
Facebook's
don't
for the
need another
boomers.
thing to pay attention to. Like, I'm already
yeah.
consumed like by one. Like I don't need another. So yeah, I don't need to. I mean, I was
That's
telling my wife
apparently
the other
where
day,
to
I was
be.
like, I can send them all to you, and you can run my TikTok. If you think I need to do it this bad, you can.
Yeah.
You know, he's like, you can just you can post everything for me from my account. I'm fine with that, but I just really don't want to. It's time consuming. You know,
Yeah.
It
Especially
really
the content that you guys put out, which I think is hilarious. Especially the one where you were arresting him. That was great. But like, did you ever imagine when you got into real estate that you'd be like, oh, now I have to make viral Instagram reels?
No.
Which I guess you don't have to. I find it hilarious.
Yeah, you
but-
don't have to, but it's a fun, free, easy way to kind of. Well, you know, some of them are free, like the police one. You know, that we pay someone because that's a listing video. It's a lot harder to shoot with the phone, but you know, it's just a cheap, easy, fun, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah,
you know, it's fun. It's always people kind of know me for it now. I love making the stupid, silly videos.
It's funny because I posted a clip from he texted me one day to do one of his listing videos, and I just took a screenshot of the text message and put it up like, "Now the things I get asked to do by real estate agents. This is great." But it was like him asking me to slap him.
We're it.
How hard?
Do you have the baby powder, or do I need to bring it?
Yeah. Nah, man, it's fun.
Yeah, we love it.
Yeah, it's a good time.
And that's the thing too, is like, real estate is a tough business, dude. It's pretty cutthroat. We were talking before this started, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to be on here for like an hour and a half. I'm not going to be able to check my email. I'm not going to be able to check my text, my phone. Like, is something going to be going on? It's like this tough, cutthroat, fast-paced business that you got to be on top of. So, like, any way you can add fun into it makes it so much better, man. Because it is, like, when you said that your mom did loans for 47 years, my first thought was like, I hope I'm not a loan officer for 47 years.
Same.
You know, I'm like, I don't know if I can handle it that long, man. It is just a grind, and I love it. So throwing in that fun in there, laughing, cutting it up, you know, joking.
Well, and then this is great.
Yeah, man. Just like different approaches to it, to where you can keep it fun and enjoyable. And I talk a lot about serving others, but like, you got to take care of yourself too.
Right.
And like, if you're just working, grinding 24/7, you're going to burn out.
Totally.
In anything you do.
Yeah, that makes me think too. Like, so one of the things like this is awesome. I mean, the great thing about the real estate industry is the freedom that it gives us to do stuff like this. You know, as an agent, you're self-employed, you're running your own business. As loan officers, we're W-2 employees, but you know, we're making our schedules in terms of how we're managing our time and what we're doing with it. So it gives us a lot of freedom. Like you said, you can wear jeans and a t-shirt to work.
Yeah.
I'm in athletic shorts and a t-shirt right now, you know, and if I'm not meeting with people, this is how I'm going to be dressed. You know, I don't have to wear a suit and tie. But ultimately, like doing fun things, like you said, the reels, and then this, and you know, Zach and I've always talked about it too. Like on the flip side of this, like not only do we use it for like marketing to get people to like us, but we use it as a time capsule for our kids to be able to come back and look at it. So, which leads me to my next question. If your kids were to watch this in say 10, 15 years, what's one message you would want to leave them?
I'm pretty sure they're going to watch it right when it comes out.
Okay. So what
So we at least got 3 views coming.
Yeah.
So
what message would you like to leave your kids right now?
I'm sure Junior and Dan will probably watch too.
Yeah. They'll watch it on like 2x speed. Yeah, man, you know, obviously I want to let them know that I love them. And I hope that they know that by the actions that I show. And I want them to be good people. And I hope that they look back and they say, man, my dad really paved the way for me. And he wasn't perfect, messed up a lot. And we love him. And like, he gave me, or us, like what we needed to be. You know, we talk a lot about manhood, you know, to be a man, to be a strong man, to be a strong woman. out there to serve others, to be selfless, and just to love, man, and know that like life is hard, dude. Super hard, man. Like, I feel like I'm always going through the shit, and I'm like, dude, when is this gonna end, man? Like, I just want to chill. And, you know, like, I just want them to know that I love them and that I'm living this life as an example for them so that they can hopefully avoid the pitfalls that I've fell into, and that they can be strong and successful men and women when that time comes.
That's awesome.
It's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Well, we end the show the same way every time. So before we get you out of here, Adam,
We play a little game. We call it the Tombstone game. Here lies Adam. What does it say on your tombstone?
Oh, man. Shit, man. You know, it's a tough one because I'm like, do I want it to be hilarious? Like, is anyone really going to be like looking at it and be like, he lived a great life? And I'm like, dang, dude, tight tombstone.
Yeah.
Or if it was like, man, this guy hazed hard.
This guy
And like
hates.
in like 2095 or whatever, someone's like, dude, what in the world does he hazed hard mean? No one watching this probably even knows what that means now.
I was in a fraternity. I know what that means.
You know, it's hard to like summarize what I want my life to be in one sentence, but you know, if it had to say one thing, it would just be that he served the Lord. And I know that is probably cheesy or whatever, but like, that's what I'm here to do.
That's
and
the great
like,
thing about this. This is yours.
Yeah.
So you know.
No, for sure. And like, you know, it's really like, I'm just living a life that God gave me to live. And I hope that I can impact other people. And I don't even have to impact 1 million people. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you look at Jesus, like, he had 12 disciples. And then they went out and spread the gospel all the way to where I get a chance to talk about it on the Zach and Pat show in St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, I want to spend the time that I have with the people that mattered to me the most. And hopefully that spiders out to other people and lives change. We have a better society. We have a more loving society. And that's what it would be, that he served the Lord.
It's perfect.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming in, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely.
And,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody at home that watched or listened to this episode. If you haven't clicked that subscribe button yet for us, please do so. It really helps the show grow. Pat and I have a goal to get to 500 subscribers on YouTube before the end of 2025. So help us hit that goal. Click that like button, comment what you thought below, and we will see you next time.